Hi, this is Jacqueline here with the GROW program. I did, uh, you know, uh, I'm disappointed. I had to kind of gather my thoughts a little bit. I am disappointed in what happened with Jacob Blake and that there would be no charges concerning that police officer who decided to shoot him in the back in front of his children. Allow him to go in his car and do what he did. I'm kind of at a loss for words but at the same time, I'm not surprised. We have to keep on working, people. We have to keep on quietly rising and keep on growing. We can't stop growing. We can't take to the streets. That's what they expect us to do. Because see, look, while you're going to be down there, you're going to be down there with evil. And the evil came to steal, kill, and destroy. The evil is out for destruction. The evil's down there in the mix of good. You down there trying to get your voices heard, but that really is not the way, to go about getting your voices heard. The way to go about getting your voices heard through your vote, through legislation, writing, making good trouble, doing things that way. Going down there peaceful protesting, yes, that was one way of doing things. But now we need to be smart about how we do. We also got Corona out there. We got things lurking around. When you're not necessarily going out there looking for trouble. Trouble come to find you. Okay, I'm gonna tell you something. Through a life of oppression, my life, there were times in my life where I wish that they made a pill that I could just forget my past. I could just forget I ever went through that. I could forget that happened to me. But now I know, that my life is a testimony. And what I went through, in this oppression, and being the first free African coming out of oppression of this country, and a life of oppression after that has really shown me in my spiritual walk, that God has never left me. I always knew as a child that God was there, and as we going through life, we make mistakes. We do. Kids don't come with how-to books. We do the best we can with our kids. And see what people don't realize is that their own parents were under oppression. When you ain't got civil rights, you in a country, you ain't even got civil rights. You ain't got the right to vote. You ain't got the right to go to certain stores. You can't do this, you can't do that. You already under oppression. So, you trying to raise your family the best way you know how. Like I said, kids don't come with how-to books. You wasn't a perfect parent. Your parents weren't a perfect parent. Our parents were under oppression. You need to forgive your mom and dad. Even if they was on drugs, you need to forgive, because look here. Who pushed the drugs in the community? Okay. You need to forgive mom and dad. Try to help people. You don't quit trying to judge folks so much. Think you so high. High uppity. We can't be like that. We can't be sitting up and judging the people. We gotta love and accept. I'm gonna tell you something. I love you and accept you. This is how I am. If you do certain things and there's certain things you like to do at your house, that's your house. I don't have to sit over there with you. If you don't do what I do, which is the Lord, we ain't got to commingle. That's how I'm thinking. That's what I'm saying. You ain't got to fool with certain folks. If they don't be up to your caliber, up to your, anything, you sick of borrowing money. You sick of it. You sick of this, chaos, negativity, and drama that they bring in your life. You tired of certain things and you ready to do something different. You got to begin to remove that out your life. Because see, that takes your focus off the Lord. It really does. That includes TV. Certain things on TV. I understand, like certain shows and stuff. I particularly don't watch it anymore. It was a time, man, I live for TV. I love TV. They had that DVR so full, I didn't have no room to put no more shows on there. I fill up the DVR because I'm watching my shows and stuff. But, honey, I'm telling you something. It's like what you watch and manifest and look at, that begins to manifest in your life. That chaos, negativity and drama. Worrying about different folks. I told you about my mama friend, and the soap operas. The doctor took her off soap operas because of her nerves. You worrying about people who ain't even real. You sitting up waiting to see what's gonna happen next week. You sitting up stressing about that. You running your blood pressure and stuff up, worrying about what Veronica gonna do next week. And you stressing. And that stuff is manifesting in your life. It really is. And you sitting up where I told you about me. Sitting up. I stressed the whole weekend as a kid, remembering Victor Newman in the casket. That really stressed me out. I was traumatized. I still wasn't. I still remember it, to this day. But I know now that it's fake. But I was a kid and I ain't know no better. So this stuff traumatizes us and traumatizes our kids. And we do, like I told you, our kids are our mini-me's. We could tell them different things all we want, but they gonna do what they see us do. So, we want to be building. We want to be rising. We want to be growing. We want to be showing examples to our children. We want to be mindful of what they're learning, or what they're, not just sitting in front of the TV and there you go. If you don't sit them in front of TV, like I tell my grandbaby, I ain't finna sit you in front of no foolishness. I'm going to sit him in front of something that's going to teach him something, to learn something. It's okay to watch a little funny cartoon show or something like that every once in a while. But look, I want you to learn. We got to be educational. When we use our time, we got to use it wisely. But we got to be mindful that they babies too. So, and let them have their fun. But, so people, and when you're thinking about your past, just be mindful. Your past is what created who you are today, and you are growing. Don't be ashamed of your past. Look to it as a stepping stone, as a learning experience. Because I remember my mama telling me, I'm going to go through certain things. She tried to tell me, don't do this and don't do that, and I do it anyway. She said, well, experience is the best teacher. And sure enough, I go through some certain things and be like, Mama, you sure right. I wish I'd listened, and every tub got to sit on his own bottom. And, she always had a good saying to come back on you with. So, that's why I can bring them up. But anyway, people, I just want to shoot that word out to you. And, meditating positive thoughts towards Georgia. And we're going to come through. Africans are going to rise. We're going to rise as a people. We're going to rise as a nation. We're going to rise as a country. And we're going to put those who are conducting evil, we know that they're there. But we got to continue to grow and rise above it and rise beyond it and rise past it. Even those who think they're getting away with something on this earth, they aren't getting away with anything because they still got the answer. So keep growing, people. God bless you.